Okay, welcome back students. In previous class you learned about the functions, real function, real variable function, real valued function, identity function, constant function, polynomial function, rational function, modulus function, signum function and greatest integer function. Now in this class I explain about algebra of real functions. Algebra of real function means in algebra of real numbers, addition of two real numbers is a real number, subtraction of two real numbers is a real number, multiplication of two real numbers is a real number, and dividing one real number with another real number is a real number. In the same way, we can add here two real functions, we can subtract, we can multiply and we can divide the real functions. Right? Now I explain about real functions, how to add the two real functions. Suppose f is mapping from x to r and g is mapping from x to r are two real functions. Then f plus g is mapping from x to r is defined by f plus g of x is equal to f of x plus g of x for all x belongs to capital R, or for all x belongs to capital X, where capital X is subset of capital R. Right? Now I write that addition of two real numbers. Let f is mapping from x to r and g is mapping from x to r are two real functions, real functions. Then f plus c is mapping from x to r, capital R, this one. Capital R means set of all real numbers. F plus c is mapping from x to r defined by f plus g of x is equal to f of x plus g of x, comma, for all x belongs to capital X and capital X is subset of capital R. Capital X is subset of capital R. Once again see, if f is mapping from x to r and g is mapping from x to r are two real functions, then f plus g is mapping from x to r is defined by f plus g of x is equal to f of x plus g of x. For all x belongs to capital X and capital X is subset of capital R. So when you add any two real functions, the resulting function is also one real function. In the same way, when you subtract one function from other function, then the resulting function is also a real function. In the same way, we can say that when f minus is mapping from x to r. If f is mapping from x to r and g is mapping from x to r are two real functions, then f minus is mapping from x to r is also a real function and is defined by f minus g of x is equal to f of x minus g of x, comma, for all x belongs to capital X and capital X is subset of capital R. And in the same way, if f is mapping from x to r and g is mapping from x to r are two real functions, then their product is also real function. That is, fg is mapping from x to r is defined by fg of x is equal to f of x into g of x. F of x into g of x, comma, for all x belongs to capital X. This means product of two real functions is again a real function. And next one, quotient of real functions. Quotient of real function means If you divide one function by another function, then it is called quotient of two real functions. That means f by z is mapping from x to r. X to r is defined by f by z of x is equal to f of x divided by z of x, comma g of x is not equal to 0. Whatever the values are satisfying g of x, those values we have to subtract from the domain of the function, comma for all x belongs to capital X. For all x belongs to capital X. This is quotient of two real functions, and this one is product of two real functions. This one is subtraction one real function from other one, and this one is addition of two real functions. So if you add any two real functions, the resulting function is also real function. If we subtract one real function from other one, then the resulting real function is also real function. If you multiply any two real functions, then the resulting function is also real function, and division also. If we divide one real function with another real function, it depends on their defined on the domain of the function, then f of x by g of x. F by g of x equal to f of x by g of x. If you multiply any one real function by a scalar, then the resulting function is also a real function. For example, f is mapping from x to r is a real function, and alpha is any scalar, then the resulting function alpha f is also a real function mapping from x to r defined by alpha of f of x. Alpha of x is equal to alpha into f of x. Alpha f of x is equal to alpha into f of x, comma for all x belongs to capital X. For all x belongs to capital X. This is called algebra of the real functions. I give an example. F of x is equal to x square. F of x equal to x square. Example. F of x equal to x square, comma g of x is equal to 2x plus 1. F of x equal to x square, g of x equal to 2x plus 1. Now do addition of these two real numbers. The addition of two real numbers is also two real functions is also real function. See, f plus g of x is equal to f of x plus g of x. That is equal to first one. The addition of two real functions is also a real function. F plus g of x is equal to f of x plus g of x. That is equal to x square plus 2x plus 1. That is equal to x plus 1 whole square. The addition of two real functions is again real function. Second one, f minus g of x is equal to f minus g of x is equal to f of x minus g of x. That is equal to x square minus 2x minus 1. This one is subtraction of one real function from other one. Second one. Next, third one. Product of two real functions is also a real function. Product of two real functions is also a real function. Fg of x is equal to, we can write as f of x into g of x. Fg of x is equal to f of x into g of x. That is equal to f of x is x square and g of x is 2x plus 1. That is equal to 2x cube plus x square. It is third one. Next, division of one real function with the other real function. That is fourth one. F by g of x is equal to f of x divided by g of x, where g of x is not equal to 0. F of x is x square and g of x is 2x plus 1. Right? And x is not equal to, here you can write x is not equal to minus 1 by 2. If you take x equal to minus 1 by 2, it is not defined. Because when you write x equal to minus 1 by 2, 2 to cancel, minus 1 plus 1 0, something by 0 is undefined. That's why this function is not defined at x equal to minus 1 by 2. It can be defined for the other real numbers, but particularly it is not defined at x equal to minus 1 by 2. For what values of x it is not defined, then we delete those values from the domain of the function, right? So the function must be defined in its domain. Okay, for what values it is defining, those values are called domain of the function. For what values the function is defining, those values are called domain of the function. The domain of this function does not having this number x is equal to minus 1 by 2, because it is not defined at x equal to minus 1 by 2. And see here, 2x cube plus x square, it is a polynomial function. It is defined on every real number. So its domain is capital R. And in the same way, f minus u of x equal to x square minus 2x minus 1 is there. It is also polynomial function. It is defined for every real number. So its domain is capital R. Now come to this function, x plus 1 whole square is there. It is also polynomial function. It is defined for every real number. That's why its domain is capital R. Is it clear? So a function is defined, the domain of the function. The domain of the function is obtained by defining values. For what values the given function is defining, those values are called domain of the function. For what values of x the function is defining, those values are called domain of the function. Is it clear? If the function is not defined at a particular value of x, then we don't take as a domain of domain value, right? This is called algebra of the real functions. Algebra of the real functions. Now I will explain in NCERT textbook exercise 2.3 page number 44. Exercise 2.3 I will explain. Right? Explain about the real functions. Addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, and multiplying by scalar. Scalar means, for example, 2 is there. 2 is a scalar. And one function f of x equal to x square plus 2 is there. If you multiply by 2, then you will get 2 into x square plus 2 into 2, 4. Directly we can multiply that scalar number 2 into the function. That is scalar multiplication. Take any scalar and multiply with the real function, it will be multiply all the terms of the real function. Is it clear? That is scalar multiplication of a real number. Now, NCERT textbook exercise 2.3 page number 44. First question. NCERT textbook exercise 2.3 page number 44. First question. Which of the following relations are functions? Give reasons. If it is a function, determine its domain and range. Total 3 questions are there. First question, this one. Which of the following relations are function? If this relation is function or not a function? This is the problem. You know already a relation capital R from set capital A to set capital B is called a function if every element of set A having one and only one image in set B. That is first definition. And you know second definition. Second definition is a function f is a relation from set A to set B such that the domain of f is A. No two distant ordered pairs having the same first element. No two distant ordered pairs having the same first element. If the relation having the same first element in the ordered pairs, then it is not a function. See, is there any first element of the ordered pair is same? If any two ordered pairs having first element same. See here, first element is 2, 5, 8, 11, 14 and 17. All the first elements of the ordered pairs are distant. So it is a function, no doubt at all. It is a function. all the first elements of the ordered pairs, all the first elements of the ordered pairs are distant, so it is a function. Next come to this one, 2 1 4 2 6 3 8 4 10 5 12 6 14 7. Is this function or not a function? 2 4 6 8 10 12 14 2 5 8 11 14 17. All the first elements of the ordered pairs are distant. Here also all the first elements of the ordered pairs are distant. This is function, this is also function. Now come to this one, all the first elements of the ordered pairs are distant? No, all the first elements of these two ordered pairs are there. For these two ordered pairs, first elements are same, so this is not a function, but remaining these two are functions. Give reasons that one. What is the reason behind that one? This is one way explanation, one method. This one, another method also is there. Another reason also is there. We can give for that one also. Every element of set A having one and only one image in set B, then it is called function. Every element of set A, you can write set A and set B separately. Every element of set A having one and only one image in set B, then it is called a function. That is also one of the reason. If we take here set A 1 2, set B 3 5, one having two different images, so it is not a function. That is also one of the reason. Here also we can form set A and set B, and that is called arrow diagram explanation. What do you call? Arrow diagram or visible representation of the relation. Visible representation of the relation method. Now I give this one reason. This relation is a function. This relation is a function, because all the first elements of the ordered pairs are distinct. All the first elements of the ordered pairs are distinct. Ordered pairs of the relation are distinct. You can write this, right? So which of the following relations are functions? Give reasons. If it is a function, determine its domain and range. This is a function, so determine its domain and range. I write here domain. Domain is all the first elements of the ordered pairs. 2, 5, 8, 11, 14 and 17. 2, 5, 8, 11, 14 and 17. It is domain. Next you can find range. Range is equal to all the second elements of the ordered pairs. Second elements 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So only one element is there, singleton one. That's all. It is domain and it is range. Is it clear? Right. Next one. 2, 1, 4, 2, 6, 3, 8, 4, 10, 5, 12, 6, 14 and 7. So here also distinct ordered pairs having no same element. All the first elements of the ordered pairs are different. All the first elements of the ordered pairs of the relation are distant. You can write that reason. It is a function. This relation is a function because all the first elements of the ordered pairs of the relation or distinct So it is a function. Then you find domain and range. Domain is equal to all the first elements of the ordered pairs of the relation. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Next range. Range is equal to all the second elements of the ordered pairs of the relation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next third one. Is this relation function or not a function? This relation is not a function. This relation is not a function. It is not a function because the first elements of two distant ordered pairs are same. Because the first elements of two distinct ordered pairs are same. Two distinct ordered pairs are same because the first elements of two distant ordered pairs are same. So this is not a function. Right? Is it clear? And one more explanation is there. According to definition of the function, a relation capital R from set capital A to capital B is called a function if every element of set A having one and only one image. But here element 1 having two different images, so it is not a function. And we can say one more example. One relation is said to be function and is said to be not a function. I tell you one example. X is a man having 3 sons. X is a person. He has three sons. Okay, and he got married for these 3 sons. Son 1 having wife 1, son 2 having wife 2, son 3 having wife 3. That means I write here S1 W1, S2 W2, S3 W3. Okay. Is this relation function or not a function? This relation is a function because son having one wife S1, S2 having one wife W2, S3 having one wife W3. If any one son, either S1 or S2 or S3 having more than one wife, then it is having more than one wife, then it is not a function. Is it clear? S1 having one wife, S2 having one wife, S3 also having one wife. This relation is a function. But if you take one more ordered pair like this, S1 having another wife, then one person having 2 wives, it is not a function. Right? Is it clear? So function means every element of set A having one and only one image. Then only it is called function. Is it clear? Right. Next problem. Question number 2. Find the domain and range of the following real functions. F of x is equal to minus modulus of x. F of x is equal to minus modulus of x. Domain and range. You know the domain of the modulus function is capital R and range is closed 0, open infinity. In the same way its domain is capital R. It is defined for every value of x. Domain is equal to capital R. But range of this function is equal to minus modulus of x is there. If it is modulus of x, range is closed 0, open infinity. Already I told for you. But here minus modulus of x is there. You write any real number in the function, you will get all negative real numbers only, including 0. All the negative real numbers are coming. That's why its range is open minus infinity, closed interval 0, including 0. All the negative integers. If you write x is equal to 1, minus 1 is coming. If you write x is equal to minus 2, x equal to 3, minus 3. If you write x equal to minus 1, modulus of minus 1 plus 1, but minus is there here, so minus 1 is coming. So, range of this function will be open minus infinity comma closer to 0. That's all. Domain, it is defined for every value of capital R. Capital R means set of all real numbers. This capital R you can also write as open interval minus infinity comma plus infinity also. Both are same only. There are infinite number of rationals and irrationals. Set of all real numbers. This one, set of all real numbers we can express by using this way or this way. Capital R, set of all real numbers. Open interval minus infinity comma plus infinity. Set of all real numbers. Right? Next to second question. Find the domain and range of the real function f of x is equal to root over 9 minus x square. Root over 9 minus x square is also called as square root function. It is defined when 9 minus x square inside is there for this function. 9 minus x square is greater than or equal to 0. Root over 9 minus x square is defined when 9 minus x square is greater than or equal to 0. Then only it is defined. Otherwise it is not defined. If it is negative number, 9 minus x square is negative, then root over negative number, it is imaginary number. We should get real number only. That's why 9 minus x square should be greater than or equal to 0. Then only root over 9 minus x square is defined. I write here. Since root over 9 minus x square, root over 9 minus x square is defined if 9 minus x square is greater than or equal to 0. 9 minus x square greater than or equal to 0. That means positive and or equal to 0. Greater than or equal to means positive or equal to 0. The only root function is existing. If it is negative, does not existing. Is it clear? Now, this value multiply by, this function multiply by minus 1 on both sides. Multiply by minus 1. If you multiply by minus 1, greater than becomes less than. Already, this is called inequality, quadratic inequality. It is called quadratic inequality. We will explain some conceptual points in quadratic in inequalities, linear inequalities, quadratic inequalities are there. Greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, less than, greater than. 4 symbols are there. Okay, these symbols are connecting two real functions or two real numbers. Okay, when you multiply by minus 1, the symbol will be changed. When you multiply by any negative number, negative real number, the symbol will be changed. Greater than becomes less than becomes greater than, less than or equal to becomes greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to becomes less than or equal to. When you multiply with a negative real number, then only it is changing. If you multiply with a positive real number, the symbol will not change. This is greater than or equal to symbol. Will not change when you multiply with a positive real number. If you multiply with a negative real number, then the symbol will be changed. Greater than becomes less than. Right? Now I am multiplying with minus 1 on both sides. Then we will get x square minus 9. If you multiply with minus 1, it will be plus, it will be minus. Greater than becomes less than or equal to 0. And this can be written as x plus 3 into x minus 3. Less than equal to 0. It is looking like a square minus b square form. X square, 9 you can write a square, 3 square form. So x square minus 3 square is looking like a square minus b square form. A square minus b square formula a plus b into a minus b. So x plus 3 into x minus 3. I applied a plus b into a minus b formula. And this can be written as x minus of minus 3 into x minus 3 less than or equal to 0. Here one formula is there, that formula we will explain in linear inequalities also. That formula is if x minus alpha into x minus beta is less than or equal to 0 and alpha less than beta then alpha less than or equal to x less than or equal to beta. That means x value lies between alpha and beta and which is also equal to the extreme values. This can be also written as x belongs to closed interval alpha comma beta. So this is the useful formula, and by using this formula we can find the domain of this function. Here x minus of minus 3 into x minus 3. Here alpha is equal to minus 3. Alpha value minus 3, beta value 3. X plus 3 is there, I have written as x minus of minus 3. Because to apply this formula, x minus alpha and x minus beta are written that one. Alpha value minus 3, beta value plus 3 that one. So if you apply this formula here, alpha less than equal to x less than equal to beta, that means minus 3 less than equal to x less than equal to plus 3 is coming that one. I write here, by using that formula, we can write minus 3 less than equal to x less than equal to plus 3. Therefore, x belongs to closed interval minus 3 comma plus 3. This is the domain of the function f of x. Therefore, a domain of f of x is equal to closed interval minus 3 comma plus 3. Closed interval, that means extreme values also included in that interval. And next one is the range. How to find the range of this function? To find the range of this function, we take this inequality. Domain is there now, we are taking that one. Take minus 3 less than equal to x less than equal to plus 3. And then squaring on both sides. The squaring on both sides, these symbols will not change. It will be x square less than equal to 3 square means 9. Again you are thinking minus 3 whole square is 9. We can write here 9. We don't write here 9. Because x square is less than equal to 9. If you write here again 9, x square greater than is coming that one. We should write whatever the values, x square values should be less than 9 only. Right? So here x possible values minus 3 to plus 3 means in between 0 also is there. 0 is the minimum value here. If we square that one, remember the minimum value of x square is always 0. Because x square is positive value, never be a negative that one. So its minimum value is 0 only. 0 square is 0. Minus 1 whole square, x value here minus 1 is there. Minus 1 whole square is plus 1. Understanding or not? Minimum value, it will be 0 only. X square minimum value always 0. That's why we write here 0. Don't get confusion. If we square that one on both sides, x square is less than equal to 3 square is 9. So what are the values or values of x square or should be less than 9 only. Right? So 0 less than equal to x square less than equal to 9. And one more point, minimum value of x square is 0. X square is positive. Right? That's why here written 0. And next we want the range of that function root of 9 minus x square. So this one carried to right hand side. That means 9 minus x square. If you carry this one, or otherwise don't carry, you do one thing. We want this function 9 minus x square. We want the 9 minus x square function. That's why I write here. Just to multiply by minus 1 because we want 9 minus x square. Multiply by minus 1 on both sides. 0 into minus 1, 0 only. If you multiply here minus 1 by minus 1, less than or equal to becomes greater than or equal to. This one becomes minus x square. If you multiply by minus 1, less than becomes greater than. This one is minus 9. Then add 9 on both sides. We want 9 minus x square. That's why I am adding. Both sides 9 adding. 9 plus 0 greater than or equal to 9 minus x square greater than or equal to 9 minus 9. 9 plus 0 is 9. Greater than or equal to 9 minus x square greater than or equal to 9 minus 9 is 0 that one. This value is 0. Then take the square root on both sides. Take the square root. Square root of 9 greater than or equal to square root of 9 minus x square greater than or equal to square root of 0. Square root of 9 is 3. Root of 9 minus x square is nothing but f of x. Root of 0 value 0. So f of x is the lies between 0 and 3. So range of f of x is closed interval 0, 3. Minimum value is 0, maximum value 3 is there. So we can write range. A range is equal to closed interval 0, 3. That's all. Closed interval 0, 3. Minimum value is 0. Maximum value 3. This is the range of the function. Is it clear? See once again. F of x equal to minus modulus of x given. Domain is capital R. It is defined for every value of x. That's why capital R written. Range of this function is, if we take any real value and substituting in this function, we can get all negative real numbers. So open minus infinity, closer to 0. Range is equal to open minus infinity, closer to 0. You know already modulus of x function, range is closer to 0, open infinity, because it is positive value. Now come to this one. Root of 9 minus x square is defined if 9 minus square greater than equal to 0. And if you multiply by minus 1 greater than becomes less than, then x square minus 9 can be written as x plus 3 into x minus 3. X plus 3 we can write x minus of minus 3 into x minus 3 less than equal to 0. And this is the formula. If x minus alpha and x minus beta less than equal to 0 and alpha less than beta, then alpha less than equal to x less than equal to beta. Then x belongs to closed interval alpha comma beta. By using this formula, we can write x lies between minus 3 and plus 3. Then x belongs to closed interval minus 3 comma plus 3. That is the domain of the function. Next, range. To find the range of this function, we take this inequality minus 3 less than equal to x less than equal to plus 3. Then squaring on both sides. X square less than equal to 3 square is 9. You will think here minus 3 whole square is 9. Here 9 will not come because the minimum value of x square is always 0, because x square is positive value. Then if you multiply by minus 1 on both sides, 0 greater than equal to minus x square greater than equal to minus 9. Add 9 on both sides, 9 greater than equal to 9 minus x square greater than equal to 0. Then take the square root on both sides, 3 greater than equal to f of x greater than equal to 0. So range is equal to closed interval 0, 3. That's all. Next problem. Next, NCERT textbook exercise 2.3, page number 44, question number 3. 3 and 4 I have written at a time. Question number 3. The function f is defined by f of x is equal to x minus 5. Write down the values of f of 0, f of 7 and f of minus 3. Just put the values in x. First one is f of 0. Solution. F of 0 is equal to, put x is equal to 0 in this function. 2 into 0 minus 5. 0 minus 5, that is equal to minus 5. Second one. F of 7 is equal to. Second question, f of 7, put x is equal to 7. 2 into 7 minus 5. 14 minus 5, that is equal to 9. Next, third one. F of minus 3 is equal to 2 into minus 3 minus 5 equal to minus 6 minus 5, that is equal to minus 11. That's all. It is in third question this one. Next, fourth question. The function t which maps temperature in degrees Celsius into temperature in degree Fahrenheit is defined by T of c is equal to 9c by 5 plus 32. Then find the following values: T of 0, T of 28, T of minus 10. If T of c is equal to 12, then what is the value of c? These are total 4 problems given. So instead of c, T of c is equal to 9c by 5 plus 32 is there. Then what is T of c they are asking? Instead of c, you write 0 in this function. That is equal to 9 to 0. 8 by 5 plus 32. 0 plus 32. That is equal to 32. T T of 0 value 32. Is it clear? Second one, put C value 28. That is the formula. There put C is equal to 28. 9 into 28 by 5 plus 32. That is equal to, simplify that one, 9 into 28 divided by 5. 9 into 28 divided by 5 means you can get a 5 table in 28. 5 5s are 25. 5.6. 5.6 into 9. 45 plus 550, 50.4. 50.4 plus 32. That is equal to 82.4. That is equal to 82.4. Next to T of minus 10. 9 into minus 10 by 5 plus 32. 5 in 10, 2 times cancel. Minus 18 plus 32 equal to 14. Next to fourth one. T of C is equal to 12. Instead of T of C, write that formula 9C by 5 plus 32. 9C divided by 5 plus 32 is equal to 212. 9C by 5 is equal to 212 minus 32. 212 minus 32. 9C by 5 is equal to 180. 212 minus 30 is 180. 9 in 180 20 times cancel. This by cross multiply. C is equal to 20 into 5. C is equal to 100. That's all. So this is third one and fourth one. In third problem, we just substituted the x value. X is equal to 0. 0 into 2 into 0, 0 minus 5 minus 5. When x is equal to 7, 14 minus 5, 9. When x is equal to minus 3, minus 6 minus 5 minus 11. And this is fourth problem. They have given one formula. It is a Celsius and it is a F means degree Fahrenheit they have given. Degree Fahrenheit, T of C means degree Fahrenheit. So converting degrees into centigrade into Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit into centigrade. T of 0, T of 28, T of minus 10. If T of C is equal to 12, then what is the value of C? T of 0 means instead of C I have written 0. So we got 32. T of 28, instead of C I have written 28. Simplified 50.4 plus 32, 82.4. Next to T of minus 10 is equal to minus 18 plus 32, 14. For T of C is equal to 12, then find C value they are asking. So C is equal to 100. Is it clear? Right, next question number, fifth one. Based on this concept, exercise 2.2 assignment, let f of x is equal to root x, g of x equal to x. With two functions, then find f plus g of x, f minus g of x, f g of x, f by g of x. I have given two functions here. F of x equal to root x, g of x equal to x. Then find these functions. F plus g of x, f minus g of x, f g of x, f by g of x. Explain about real functions. Algebra of the real functions. Exercise 2.3 that one. And the second question, find the domain and range of f of x. One small function given f of x equal x square. What is the domain and what is the range? For what values of x the function is defined. Next to find the range also. Right? These two problems I am giving for you. You need to solve that. Right.